We're going live again.
And
we're live again. Welcome to our December live. We have a live every month, and well,
here we are.
Is it.
So today we're talking about actually things that we do to relax and enjoy life, and especially like leading up to Christmas. We're actually kicking off a month full of these types of things.
Christmas, Hygge.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's, I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with the theme of our channel.
Yeah, because on our channel we usually talk mostly about organizing and planning and like things you can do to be more optimal with your time here as a family. And when you flip that coin around, then why do you want to do that? Well, you want to do that so that you can relax with your family, so you can enjoy time and unplug whenever that's needed, and actually relax when you're relaxing.
Yeah.
And when do you want to do that more than anything? Christmas time.
At Christmas time. That's
exactly.
I mean, we both love Christmas. We're like kids around Christmas time. So it's super important to us. I usually take some extra time off at Christmas just to be able to relax and spend time with family.
And I'm a teacher, so I'm off between Christmas and New Year's anyways. So that's super nice.
We are doing a video on the 26th of December about the things that we like to do to, you know, like our favorite family activities. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. Exactly. Today we're focusing more on the Christmas traditions
that we do here in Scandinavia. Because if you don't know us, we're from Scandinavia. I'm from Denmark, and Ben is from Iceland.
Yeah, which I guess technically isn't, you know, part of Scandinavia.
It's the Nordic countries.
Not like geographically speaking, but culturally and historically, like we're quite Scandinavian. We're Nordic. Yeah.
So these are all Scandinavian Christmas traditions that are extremely cozy, extremely hyggelig, that we can do because we are more organized. And we have Jeanette, who said hi. Hi, Jeanette. So
let's start with arts and crafts.
Yeah. So actually today I went to my kids' after school program where they had their yearly Christmas arts and craft. And my school had it like last week, and your workplace has it in a couple of weeks. So like it's something that every workplace and school and after school program they have at least every Christmas. And you always make the same things. It's either these little stars here that we fold out of paper. I made this one today, actually.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Very nice.
Or these here
champions, the Danes.
Or these here hearts that you make out of paper and then you put stuff in it. I actually think you and the kids made this, right?
I think we did. Yeah, you can kind of tell there's like glue stains, and it doesn't look quite as petite and fancy and nice as yours does.
But these here are like the tradition. This is what their tradition is supposed to look like with these 9 squares. But I mean, if you're a little bit better, then you make them a little bit cooler. And they're nice. And you put them on the Christmas tree.
You hang them on the Christmas tree, and then usually you stuff them with candy.
Cookies.
So like brilliant.
Exactly.
Yeah, in Iceland we do the arts and crafts. It's also quite common for you know, school get-togethers and work parties and such. It's a lot more primitive and nice. I think. I mean, we do the hearts as well, but you guys seem to taking it to
the next Marcus level. Was doing a heart today. Like he's getting really good at it.
To shame.
8. Yeah, exactly. Do you guys have, I don't know, the different countries you're from? Do you do arts and crafts every Christmas at your schools and workplaces? Or is it more a Scandinavian thing?
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious about
this. It's more Danish thing than Icelandic,
but it's still very Icelandic. But I don't think I've seen it many other places.
Yeah, let us know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we do. And another thing that we do is actually also a Danish thing. It's about Nissa. So Santa doesn't have elves. Sorry, guys. He has Nissa. Those are his helpers, but they also live on the farms. And I'll tell a lot more about that in a couple of weeks when I do a Bake With Me. I'll go a lot into detail about the Nissa. But they live on people's farms, and they're like these little red creatures.
They used to be pretty tricksy.
They used to be pretty tricksy. They still are.
Yeah.
So still pretty tricksy. But you want to stay friends with them. And then my family, we've always had this tradition where we've made a Nissa. Let me find one here. These here ones. Out of what are they? Pipe something.
Effigy,
yeah. So I mean, these are very primitive, but we've had 24 of these, and then we put one up on December 1st in the living room somewhere. Like one person hides it, and the rest of them go out, and then they come in and have to find it. So you have to be able to see it a little bit, and then by the 24th, you have 24 of them all over your living room, and it looks super festive, and it's really nice.
Yeah, it's a little countdown thing. We do actually that's kind of the red thread through this. A lot of this is just like countdown and building up the excitement for Christmas. But no, I think that's a really cozy family tradition for you guys that I am very happy and on board with. I mean, it's fun to play games like that.
I like Martha's comment.
Oh yes, crafts in school and at our home. Anything to keep the kids occupied and away from the TV and toy ads.
Nice.
Bingo. Yeah, absolutely. So that's and it's just nice to like spend a little extra time together without having to like count on TV to keep your kids occupied while, you know, you're preparing for Christmas. Bring the kids on board. It's more fun. It's more hyggelig.
I think though, like maybe I just don't know any better, but I just thought that like in America and Canada and other places, it's more like all these Pinterest crafts that you find and you do different ones and you get inspired. Here in Denmark, you do the same ones every year.
Very traditional,
like
the Danes.
You don't branch out.
Super traditional. I think it's also very common to have like, I mean, you've got like the exact same menu for Christmas Eve, and like you don't like veer off the
my mess with perfection,
what's
guys.
Tried and true. Yeah.
Anyways,
next one is the Santa Clauses. So I mean, you know Santa Claus.
Yeah, we know Santa Claus in Denmark. We have one, and he lives in Greenland, not the North Pole, but that's about the only difference.
Greenland. It's probably why Trump wanted to buy Greenland. Okay. But in Iceland, we have loads of Santa Clauses.
Yes.
We have got 13 of them, and they live in the mountains in Iceland, and they all have different characteristics, and those go hand in hand with their individual names. So, for example, Meat Hook, he would steal your meat that you're saving for Christmas. Candle Beggar, he would steal your candles. Ladle Licker, he'd steal your ladle and lick it. And Door Slammer, he wouldn't steal your doors, he would slam your doors.
They're very literal in Iceland.
Like, that's a very like Icelandic characteristic. We just call things what they are. But so they used to just, you know, kind of like the Nisa, come around and wreak havoc and make life a little miserable. In recent years, they've bettered their ways, and they come around and they bring little treats or little toys to the kids. So actually, you know, Christmas is getting close when you, as a kid, you put your shoe up in the window, and then you wake up to find little gifts from
our kids
the Santa Clauses.
Love it so much. Like, they're so cute in the morning. Yeah,
so they arrive one by one, like 13 days leading up to Christmas. And speaking of, our kids, like they get so excited about this, and I'm totally on board with that, because I have so many memories of my window as a kid, you know, with the light chain around and the shoe in the window, and waking up in the middle of the night and then like crawling out of my bed, peeking into the shoe just to see if Santa Claus had been there. So that was, I mean, those, cozy times. Yeah.
Yeah. And Martha wrote again that they decorated Gingerbread House from IKEA. Who doesn't love IKEA? With sweets they've done in the past couple of years. So that's tradition now. Yeah, that's good. And they're from Spain. Oh, brilliant! There you go. Welcome.
We haven't really done like the
Gingerbread House. No, we do a lot of gingerbread cookies. So actually, that brings on to our next one is baking. So like we bake a ton. I think most families bake a lot or bake cookies for Christmas. I think that's like a thing, cookies for Christmas, you know. But we do the gingerbread people, and we always did so many in my family, like ridiculously many, and just like splattered all this candy on them and then done. And then we had like a big box and no one wanted to eat them because they weren't as delicious as the other cookies. So in our family, we've kind of like narrowed it down to like a different type of tradition where we just make like.
We'll get like the family together or some friends together, and we'll make the gingerbread cookies, and then we'll have like an ugly sweater competition. And then, you know, see who can decorate the ugliest gingerbread cookie sweater.
Yeah.
And then put it on Facebook and have people vote, and then, you know, there's a winner at the end of the day.
Or a loser. It's the ugliest that wins, so you know.
Yeah, I guess. So that's but that's, I mean, Danish
cookies. I mean, I was reading up on this, and our cookies for Christmas actually date all the way back to the medievals. That's when we started making kleiner, for which comes from Germany, with the klein and little. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so we have those. The name comes from Germany.
In Iceland, they're like deep fried, like twisty donuts.
Yeah, which is why that they date back so far, because you didn't need a stove to make them. It's just fry them in fat.
Brilliant.
So you could do that way back when. But then in the 1500s, we started making pionula and like yule and like so like. But they're all these spice cookies. It wasn't like the chocolate chip cookie didn't come around until like way later.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of traditional cookies in Denmark.
So definitely, yes, stay tuned for the bake with me. And
Yeah.
what was it,
I'll be
in a
making
couple of
2
weeks?
different cookies.
Yeah, traditional Danish cookies.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I love Christmas cookies as well. Usually, I mean, I'll participate a little bit just because it's, you know, it is cozy. You definitely spearhead the whole cookie baking thing, but we make like lakristoppar.
Oh, they've become my favorite cookie.
Yeah.
They're Icelandic though, but they're
like a meringue with licorice and chocolate,
like salted licorice, not that like sweet.
So probably a pretty acquired taste. Like if you didn't grow up with salty licorice, you probably hate it.
So if you're from Scandinavia or Finland, that's also Scandinavia, or Holland, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
then you'll like them. Otherwise,
appreciate it.
Don't worry about it. Take our word for it. That's it.
Okay, so if you've just joined us, we're talking about Hyggelig or cozy Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
The things that we do leading up to Christmas to kind of count down to Christmas and just enjoy the Christmas season, which is really important to us.
Yeah, and if you caught our live last month, we talked about what things we could do in November to prepare to have a Hyggelig December. Because it really is when you plan ahead that you're able to save time and a lot of instances save money and do things smarter. So that's why it's so important to plan ahead. And also when you organize, then you feel on top of things and you have that calm feeling instead of like being stressed,
being frazzled.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that is like, I mean, I think it goes hand in hand with Christmas, often just by default. But there's so much you can do to prevent that, and that's what we talked
about last time. So like one of the things we mentioned last time was to like get your Christmas shopping done. And actually, we're sitting next to our stash over here. I'm not really gonna. I have one here that's wrapped.
Oh.
We're not saying who it's for, but So yeah, I mean, it's buying your Christmas present before. So we did that, and instead of rushing around now and buying Christmas presents, we are able to do more cozy
we've
things.
Got like a couple left, and that's it. So no stress. It's brilliant. Yeah. So if you've liked what we've talked about so far,
give
then
us a like. We like likes, so we like you.
And if you haven't subscribed, then for any sort of discussion on both, obviously the planning, the preparation, the stuff that you can do to enjoy and have good times with your family, then subscribe and you'll be notified when we post content.
Yeah, and like
along those lines.
Throughout December, we'll be talking a lot about these Christmas preparations that we do, and then in January we're gonna kick it off again with so much more good planning and organizing advice and tips for families. Yep. So stay tuned, subscribe, we love it. Okay, moving on.
All right, next one is the Christmas Legos. Like, we love Legos. I think we mentioned it like every other
because
video.
We love it. Yeah. But before we move on to that, I just want to say, like, if you have any Christmas traditions in your family, let us know, because we'd love to hear about what Christmas traditions you have that you would love to do and therefore do. So let us know.
Yeah.
Move on to the Christmas Legos.
Before that, we're so frazzled now. No, Jeanette. Lights on the balcony and on the windows. Love it. Absolutely. Yeah, we love the lights. Mm-hmm. And actually, let's talk about those now, and then we'll get back to the Christmas Legos.
That's right.
It's a nice segue.
You can never talk too much about Legos anyway, so it's fine. But the lights on the balcony is right, because here in Denmark we have a lot of lights. I remember when I was a kid, there really weren't that many. I remember my parents brought home the first net of lights they put over like a bush in the backyard, and it was so pretty sitting there looking at like all that lit bush back there. But now a lot of houses have it. Like in our street, well, like every other house, maybe.
I'd say more, probably maybe more. Yeah, I mean, there are a few that go all in and put up like lights on the little carport and on the trees and then I think a few of our neighbors are still a little bit more like subdued in very like Scandinavian Danish fashion. Don't go all in. But they'll still have a few light chains.
But on that note, with how Danes are a little bit subdued and Scandinavian fashion, keep it simple. In Denmark, most people have just like the white lights or like the soft yellow lights. And that's what you have, because we're simple, we're classic. Not me, I'm not very simple or classic. So I love the colored lights. So we do colored, but there are not a ton of us out there.
It's more Icelandic, I think. In Iceland, you've had, you've gone all in on the lights for longer. I think it's a more traditional part of Christmas, and usually it'll have the lights in all sorts of different colors. But and I think, to be honest, that kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that here, like in Iceland, especially in Denmark as well, but like you get like 4 or 5 hours of sunlight in Iceland. You get up
a few
at
more here, but
10,
still.
11 o'clock, and then it's starting to get light, and then like 3 in the afternoon it's starting to get dark again. So you want to keep those lights out, and we have a lot of traditions that tie in with the lights, other than just like putting up the lights. We'd go for a walk or go for a drive and look at the Christmas lights. And it was always like super, super cozy. Like, it's just, if you're visiting Iceland, usually people go in the summertime, which is probably, not a bad bet in terms of the weather, but going in the middle of winter is also super cozy. So I'd highly recommend it. Yeah. Another reason why I'd recommend it is
because nature has their own Christmas lights in Iceland. Yeah, like the Northern Lights. I've never seen them in Denmark. It wasn't until I met Ben and I went to Iceland that I like saw those, and my jaw just dropped. Like, I remember the first time I saw it walking around Reykjavik, like looking up, and just my mouth was just open like the whole time. They're like amazing. Yeah. So if you have the chance, go to Iceland and watch the Northern Lights. Yeah. Or somewhere else they have Northern Lights.
Or just the Christmas lights. Those are guaranteed. I mean, because the weather is the way it is.
And like, one thing I like about Iceland that we don't do so much in Denmark, we started doing it actually, but not so much, is your cemeteries. They have Christmas lights on them too. Yeah. And I think it's super cute and super cozy.
That is cozy. Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful.
And Martha's been to Iceland. We loved Iceland.
I love when people love Iceland. Exactly. I'm very proud of my country. I'm happy to be an Icelander.
Yeah, I would be too. Hello, Adriana.
Hey. And on that note,
the note of lights.
The note of lights. Yes, candles.
Oh yeah, that's very well. I want to say it's very Danish, because we probably do it more than you, but it's a very Christmassy thing most places. But Denmark, we go all out with candles. We have them in the window. We have them like everywhere. We even have live candles on our Christmas tree.
That is the scariest thing I've ever experienced. Was like the first Christmas we danced around your Christmas tree with your grandma. And yeah, I was just, pretty sure the whole thing was going to go up in flames, and that'd be Christmas for us.
My whole life, we've had live candles on the Christmas tree, and there's never been an accident, ever. We always have a bucket of water next to it, though, or a fire extinguisher, but nothing has ever happened.
But you're bold. Like, you leave the Christmas presents under the tree. Like, that's like, we got this.
No.
I was a nervous wreck at Christmas. But
so
I've
we
got
don't
used to
do
it.
That, but in my family's home, we do that, and I think it's super cozy.
Yeah.
And then we also, sorry.
Good to see you too.
Oh, yay. Adriana. And another like light that we have is our countdown calendar light. So I don't know if you can see it here, but this is like one of them. There are numbers on it.
Numbers here.
It starts with number 1 that you can't see anymore because it's burnt. And then it ends at number 24 down here. And then every day we light this, and it just burns until we get to the next day. So number 6 is coming up right here. So we're going to burn it for a little bit longer today, and then we'll blow it out. But it's super cozy because that means we're counting down to Christmas, and that's always nice. The kids can always keep up with what day of the week is. As a kid, I always knew what day of the week it was because of the candle. Yeah. But also, it's like, so when we eat breakfast together, we have a light, and when we eat dinner together, we have a candlelight. We play board games, like, so there's always candlelight at like all the time on December. Yeah. So,
and actually, on that note, Advent.
We have a lot of props today.
So yeah. So you may have seen these. You've got the 4 Advent candles. So the 4 Sundays leading up to Christmas, you light them one at a time every Sunday. And this actually has like a symbolic meaning and different, actually slightly different meanings in different Christian traditions. But the idea is basically, you enter Advent and you start counting down and use the candles again.
And here in Denmark, like, it's not a lot of people that have the Christian view of it, I think. We're happy about it. But it's like every family does this. Every family has it, if they're religious or not, because it counts down to Christmas. And to just, it's a good way to remind that. And we celebrate the Advent Sundays. So every Sunday, 4 Sundays before Christmas, it's a time where families get together and families spend time together and
It
have
is.
like family dinners, and it's just it's a
It's a big deal in Iceland
big
as well.
deal.
Like so the first Sunday of Advent, we usually
Mhm.
get together and have some lamb meat and light the candle and just have a cozy time together. Dress up, you know, formal and yeah, it was always quite nice. I mean, you do that here. One thing that I've noticed that's quite different between like Iceland and Denmark, like you have this thing where you just like sit down at the table, whether it be, you know, Advent or on Christmas itself, or basically any other time you sit down around the dinner table, have food. You always stay around the table and just like relax and talk. And I feel like, you know, I love Hygge. I love, you know, taking it easy, but I don't have the stamina for that. That's a very specific Danish thing.
Why move away from the food, you know?
Actually, that's also why I kind of tend to remove myself from, just because I can't control myself.
There you go. Another tradition we have to do with lights is Lucia. So that's something where well, it's actually, I think, a Catholic tradition back with Saint Lucia, Saint Lucy, who in the 3rd century, I think it was, she was sneaking food and aid into the Christians hiding in the catacombs. So she was doing that, and she would put a wreath in her hair with candles in it, so she could light the way and see something, so that she could have her hands free to carry more food with her. So then that's what we've adopted now here in Denmark, actually, because it one year coincided with the winter solstice, which is a very Swedish tradition and Scandinavian tradition. And now every year it's celebrated on Lucia on the 13th of December. So this year it's Friday the 13th. But all schools or nursing homes or hospitals or any public building really will have a Lucia parade where there'll be kids, usually like kids. I think it's so 4th grade or 5th grade.
It was last year that Emilia was.
Yeah, in her daycare, she did it last year. So cute. Where they have like candles,
and
like the bride has candles here, and then everyone else has just one in their hand. And then they walk and sing some traditional Lucia songs.
Yeah.
It's really cute. And actually, when I was a kid,
sorry, go ahead.
Those were live candles.
I was just gonna say hi to Janet.
Oh, hi, Janet. As a kid, those Lucia, they had live candles in their hair.
That is, health and safety.
I was not the Lucia bride. I always wanted to be, but I was not.
We could do it.
I didn't
we
have
would just have like
hair.
a special one for
Thanks.
you.
But yeah, live candles in your hair and in your. Actually, one year a girl's hair caught on fire.
Seriously?
I remember. Yeah, it was traumatic. Yeah.
Yeah. So on the topic of cozy times around Christmas, you know, your hair lighting on fire. Anyways, should we go back to the Legos?
Yeah, because Legos are awesome. No, in our family, so kind of like what Martha was saying, that they've been doing these gingerbread houses for a few years, so I guess it's tradition now. We've been doing for 3 years now.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah,
3 years ago we started. We're like, hey, we love Legos. There are all these Christmas Legos. Let's buy a Christmas Lego set. So we bought Santa's Workshop, and then we're just like, hey, let's keep doing this. So now every year for Christmas, we buy a new Lego Christmas set, and then we take them out in the beginning, like when we decorate for Christmas, and we build them and we put them up really nicely and display them, and the kids play with them all December long. And then we take them away so that they are still special next year when they come out.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of like, I mean, we didn't have Lego Christmas sets, but we used to have like these little ceramic like houses and Christmas trees with the lights inside, and I remember loving those when I was growing up. That was just like a surefire indicator that like Christmas is coming, time to get like excited for fun times and cozy times. And I can't help but think like our kids are gonna think about the Legos the same way.
Yeah. I mean, the one we bought this year even lights up. What?
Yeah,
it's so crazy. And I mean, so that's not necessarily a Scandinavian tradition, but Legos are Danish. So, and it's a Christmas tradition we have in Denmark.
So officially Scandinavian tradition. Yeah. Actually, so now we've talked about a bunch of traditions. We'd love to hear what your traditions are. If any of these are like, if you have variations of the ones that we've talked about, if any of this sounds familiar, please, let us know. We'd love to hear it.
Exactly.
Christmas movies?
Yeah. So, I mean, most people watch Christmas movies. I gotta say, I'm kind of a sucker for all the new Netflix ones, but that's just me. You don't watch B-rated movies.
like the really cheap
Yeah.
Bowman one, like the Hallmark.
Well, only because it's Christmas. But anyways, but that's not really part of our Christmas traditions. Like we watch like the Muppets Christmas Show,
The Christmas
Carol, yeah, and the Grinch, the cartoon of When the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah.
So those two we watch every single year.
That's not particularly Scandinavian.
Not at all.
No,
They're
but we
actually
do it.
like British and American, but
yeah.
but we do it, and it's something that I grew up with the Grinch. You grew up with the Muppets Christmas Carol, right?
Not so much actually. It was more in like when I was living in England. Over at a friend's house, and we were decorating a Christmas tree, and we're away from my family that Christmas, and yeah, we're decorating, and then they were watching the Christmas Carol, the Muppets movie, and that I just have that memory, and then after that it's like, yeah, we have to watch it.
We're doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then actually we had my sister's husband, he's English, and he's grown up watching it, so we shared that connection of like, oh, we want to watch the Muppets Christmas Carol and make Yorkshire puddings.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
We love it. Our kids love it now. So there you go.
Yeah.
What kind of Christmas movie do you watch? Like, what do you watch every single year? Like, my favorite Christmas movie is The Miracle on 34th Street. Is that what it's called? Yeah. But I don't watch it every year. But it's still one that I just remember from it as when I was a kid. And I was like, Santa's real.
If you haven't already, you should definitely watch Klaus on Netflix. That's such
a new cartoon.
Good,
really good.
Christmas film.
I think we'll watch that.
Grown-ups and kids. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's have a look. We make a Christmas bucket list also for summer break and stick to it. Things like decorating cookies, going to the cinema, go ice skating. It keeps us accountable and the kids excited. That's is so great. Brilliant.
And
I love it.
Planned out,
yeah,
Martha.
exactly.
We love this. Like, yeah, make like a checklist, and then like when you do something, check it off.
Yeah.
Keeps you accountable. I love that. Thank you so much.
I love the Home Alone 1 and 2.
And brilliant. Elf.
Yeah.
Yes. They're good too.
Yeah, I think we've referenced Elf in a few of our videos.
That's true. So we actually did.
Go find the Easter eggs. Is that like off topic now? Or?
No. Christmas Story we watch every year. Yes. I watched it for the first time like 3 years ago. Christmas Story. I never saw it before. But our niece Anya, who lives here, she loves it. It's her favorite one.
Yeah.
So
it's good. It's good. Yep. All right. Last one was we kind of like already. I spoiled it a little bit, but the whole dancing around the Christmas tree.
That's something that we do, and you don't do that in Iceland like we do it here in Denmark, because we have our Christmas tree like most people do, and we usually have a live one here in Denmark. It's not very common to have a fake Christmas tree or reusable one, so.
No.
But we have that, and then on Christmas Eve we bring it in, we decorate it, and then we dance around it. So we eat our dinner, and then we all hold hands and we go around it slowly as we sing different Christmas hymns and songs. So we'll start with the youngest can pick one song, then the oldest picks one, then the second youngest, the second oldest, and we go on. So it sucks to be middle child. Me, it's always last. But still, it was so cozy to like go and just walk around. It took like half an hour for all of us to sing a song each. But we all sang together, but to pick a song each for all of us to sing as we walk around. And we do that on Christmas Eve, and then it's time for the presents after that.
I mean, the dance, it's quite the exercise as well if you count the whole thing. Yeah. So where we don't do that. We definitely don't do on Christmas Eve the dancing around the Christmas tree. We again, it's kind of like a work party or school party type of deal where you dance around the Christmas tree and then you sing the songs. It was new to me also, this like dancing around the house.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting too. Like, so the last song after everyone's done picking a song, then the last song we do is this really upbeat. Like now it's.
Why don't you just sing it?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Nu the juliken. So she's like nu the juliken, and julen var lite påske. So it's like now it's Christmas again. Now it's Christmas again, and Christmas will last until Easter. No, it's not true. No, it's not true, because the fast will come in between, and that's it. And we just repeat that over and over and over again, as we run around holding hands. So we like go one place in the chain, and then we just go around into every single room of the house. So not such a big deal when we lived in an apartment when I was little, but when we live in like a 3-story house, bigger deal. But yeah, you go into every single, even the bathrooms
and the grandparents. Like, again, health and safety here in Denmark, not for Christmas. Nope. And on top of that, you're like already stuffed with like rijsselman and roast pork and like.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So you do that.
All about those traditions, absolutely.
But yeah. Oh, thanks for the tip. There's
That is bonkers. No, you're absolutely right. It is bonkers.
Not bonkers. It's just, well, maybe it is. I don't care.
I think this is like the only instance where Icelanders are more like subdued than the Danes.
Danes.
Like Icelanders, true. It tends to be the other way around. I think Icelanders are a little bit more crazy out there than the Danes, but not
about Christmas time.
No.
Exactly. Anyways, thanks for sharing. We really appreciate all your messages and your thoughts, and for joining us today.
Yep.
If you haven't already, then consider subscribing. We do a lot of content about organizing and planning and just having a good family-centered life.
Yeah. Before you go, something we neglected to mention earlier when we were talking about the Icelandic Yule lads. We did something last year, which was really fun, where we basically spent 13 days each of the 13 days leading up to Christmas. We had a short little video on our Facebook page. We put the link down below, where we're telling you a little bit more about the individual Yule lads, and tying it together with the things that you want to do, like to prepare leading up to Christmas, so you can have a cozy Christmas time with your family. Yeah. So definitely go check that out. And on that note, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.